Well, hello and welcome back. As always, I'm your friendly neighbor, Hard Dungeon Master Peter. Our break took a little longer than expected, so we do apologize about that. Traffic plus food plus driving equals long time break. It looks like Senguine has joined us today, so let's go ahead and do Senguine's intro. Kyle, take it away.
We love you, and we missed you.
Perfect. I love it. That's gonna happen every time he shows up.
We turned into call and response.
Quickly, it's the meeting call. Go.
All right. So as Leander and Quartzshaper stands, we're gonna go straight back into it for those who are watching the YouTube. So as Core and Leander just like stands there going, ha ha ha, we didn't get hit. Senguine kind of just, scrubs off that little lightning, and how he's like, that's puny. I felt real lightning before. I just suddenly gave him a German accent, but we'll go with it. So what is the group going to do? Have we decided?
Good, yeah. Das ist very good, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was tingling in my wingling. Oh yeah, let's do this. Has the group decided what the healing method is going to be? If healing is going to be applied?
Yes. Beryl is just going to pull everybody in, and she's going to go, all right, y'all. Everybody take one of these rocks, and she's going to hand out a little piece of either red jasper or onyx to everyone. She's going to say, hang on to this just for a minute. Stay within 30 feet of me, y'all. And we're going to do this, all right? I'm going to make sure everybody feels better. And I'm just going to I'm going to take my small pendant, my geode with the metal hammer kind of embedded in it, and it's I'm just gonna go, all right, now Morden, unfortunately we took just a little bit of a shock there, so I'm hoping that you will help me ground myself and my friends. We're gonna use the root chakra, and I ask you to do a little bit of healing for me, and I'm gonna do my channel divinity, preserve life, and that's going to restore my friends' healing points 5 times my cleric level. So that should be 15 points of healing, which I believe should just about clear everybody up.
All right. Using the big spells.
Well, it's my channel divinity, so it's not really a spell slot.
All right.
I can only get 1 per short rest.
So what is the next course of action? As everyone kind of like feels healed, and feels like, actually, I think this is the first time you kind of like mass healed everyone a bit. Mm-hmm. Y'all get this healing that feels a little bit scruffy, I would say, because from a dwarf, you guys really haven't got healing before. So it still feels good, but it's just a little like, itchy, I guess.
It's a very grounding experience. You feel your core connect with the earth because I channeled that through a root chakra stone.
Oh, there you go.
It's going to help ground us, and hopefully the lightning won't be so painful next time. And then once we're done, I'm just going to collect my rocks.
And then you all feel high as fuck.
Dude.
It's a slight side effect, y'all. Just give it a minute, it'll wear off.
Alright, so what is the game plan?
This is what it feels like when your chakras are aligned.
What is y'all game plan?
All right. Well, that was something we didn't discuss. We probably should have, but we didn't.
Now that the door handle's off, I guess we can make our way through.
Hopefully.
Can you be any louder over there?
It may be loud on your end, but we didn't hear it.
Oh my god.
Well, I suppose we should check the door and see if it's open now. Hopefully the handle didn't just fall off and leave it permanently closed.
Alright, who's gonna go to the door?
Senguine will.
I was about to say, Tetsu's got out enough of doors right now.
Alright, so did y'all describe what the door looks like to Senguine?
Yes.
Could you explain it one more time? There was a lot of information thrown my way.
That's okay. There's the door on the left and door on the right. Door on the left has the word observation in runes. Door on the right says caution, Etherheart. We discerned that there were runes on both doorknobs that were shocking grasp runes. He didn't really give us a description of the door itself
Metal.
per se, but that was what we got from the doors. Metal. You're right. You did say that. Yeah.
Does the right door still have shocking grasp rune on it?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
The
the
door
one
handle
we
just fell off.
did was the door on the left, which is the observation.
Does observation still have the rune on it?
No, because the door handle is no longer there.
Okay, I'm gonna open that door.
So you're gonna push open the door?
Unless it's a pull.
Well, I mean, I can't say that because it does no more door handle.
It still has hinges.
Yeah, it has hinges.
Put your fingers into the little hole and just kind of go.
So you're gonna finger my door.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
wow.
gonna finger your door and then pull it out.
Just
Okay.
pinky. Just the tip.
Okay.
Just
Just for a second, just see how it feels.
Okay. So are you gonna give me a warning, or are you just gonna like just jam it in?
No, we're just going in.
Oh, I'm going straight in.
Okay, straight in, like 2 fingers, or like how many fingers are we talking about?
Oh, no,
I'm thinking
tap.
3. I'm thinking
fingers?
3. It seems like a solid number.
Okay.
So, yeah. So we're just gonna jam it on in there.
So like this, or
And
like
do like
this?
a little bit of this. Do a little bit of this.
Like a little bit of this. Okay, and you're trying to like get in there, like kind of like hook your fingers a little bit.
Yeah, hook them, and then like slowly pull it towards myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know.
He knows how to open the door.
All right, no. So as you stick it in, wiggle it around to find like that grasp and everything, it's due to the explosion, it's a little dry and everything, but like with some moistures on your fingers and everything, it does get a little bit wet.
There we go.
So I mean, it's something you felt this feeling before, and everything, but
Not
go
much.
ahead and make me a strength check.
Dope. Oh my god, I haven't pulled out my dice yet. Hold on.
Oh, now you have to go disadvantage.
You don't want to
Strength,
tear.
a strength check for fingering the door.
Yeah. Be careful.
This
with
is
the-
100% sanguine right here, though. Strength check to finger a door.
I am sorry to the audience, but this is so funny.
Just remember, if you go like too far in with this, you might hurt it. So be careful.
It's a 22.
Oh no! Oh, there's some damage.
Sanguine's been around a door or two. All right.
Not even.
Jared just wants this to
He
be
was
over.
gonna go with 3 fingers, and then he just went full fists. He just boom.
This is my door hole now.
All right,
He got
so
too excited. Boom.
yeah, so as you're going at it and everything, and like the powder and the liquids are kind of like going out of the door handle and like spraying a little bit. So it's a little bit getting on you. So go ahead and roll me a percentile. Let's see what happens if like an explosion happens, or you just rip that puppy a new one.
Okay, well, percentile? All right,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah. Let's do percentile. Let's give it a chance.
We wanna get
I got
the chance
double zeros and a 3. Is that just 3?
Yeah, just 3.
Cool.
Okay,
Cool.
so it's not gonna have complete internal.
Hey, 3, that's good, because you did 3 fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lucky number.
You want to know what? I'll give you it since you did choose 3 fingers. The irony of that. Okay, yeah. So as you're wiggling on in there, you found that little the spot that this is the spot for the door, and you're slowly coming out of it a little bit just to make sure that that you're not like too rushing it too much, but you got it. You brace your hand on the door to just caress it to make sure like it doesn't just fully flop on you, and you just like pop it out of place.
Cool. And then as I pop it out of place, I whisper, "Dad, a girl."
And then you set it down gently on the ground.
So gently, so lovingly. It's
All
a
right.
beautiful, tender moment at that point with me between Sanguine and the door.
All right, you're able. You realize that this door hasn't got much action in a while, so it was mainly the inexperience and the rust from the hinges and everything. That's why you're able to just get in there, and everything else, and you kind of have what seems like a magic residue now on your fingers, and just like covers and coats it. And I don't recommend
gross.
sniffing it.
Gross.
Tetsu's gonna like the entire time watch as he just like pulls the door off and gently sets it down, like looks at the door, kind of like pokes his head around to kind of like look down the doorway to see like what's down there.
Okay.
Yep, perfect timing as always. That's good.
You see a ghost face just chewing up and down for no reason.
I want to cast Firebolt.
And we are only meant to observe. It's written on the door.
Alright. I don't really have. So as you kind of like see in, several feet into the room, is a pure glass case that's just dusted over from the outside, so you can't really make out what's on the other side of it. But it looks like relatively like a control room with different panels and chairs that seem to be rusted over, and whatnot. So it doesn't look like anything in here. That's what you can see by just looking on in. It's in a different level, so like there's a first, a second, and a third level of it. You know how the staircases kind of go in and then it just drops down to like different levels? They're two like that.
So Tetsu, because he almost always, actually as far as I know, he has always taken the lead on these things, is going to carefully walk down the hall looking for any other traps.
Okay. As you kind of step in and everything, this is like a, let's say like a 60 by 60 room. Mainly it's long, not really width wise. Like let's go 60 by like 45.
So what you're saying is it's got length and not girth?
Yeah, length but not girth.
Okay.
But as you step in on the far left, there is another door. That doesn't have any rooms or anything, just another metal door.
Alright. I'm guessing everyone else kind of followed behind me.
I don't know. Yes, it looks like.
Talbot follows.
Alright. Just to let you guys know, there was a much, much easier way to handle that door, but I think for you guys, that was the correct choice.
I was about to say, what other way were we gonna do it?
I don't know.
If we're not making
I mean,
it
we were
sexual
very
and violent-
directly told to dispel magic, so.
If I can't blow something up, then what's the point?
This is fair. Alright.
The important thing is that we all took damage as a team.
Alright, so
If we don't make things sexual and violent, I don't know what we're doing anymore.
See, look at that. Look at that. Senguine knows.
England's mantra.
Wait, you just described Iris.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Look at how into this she is.
Okay, moving on. Some of us are getting red faced.
Okay. So as you all enter the room, what do you guys do? There's several different panels. Again, it looks like a control room. It's very similar layout. So it looks like it does have machines that you guys have never seen before. A lot of buttons and dials and monitors as well. Or what you guys know as monitors, what your characters know as just tiny little glass screens.
Tetsu immediately after seeing these is going to call back to Talbot and go, I think you have a better idea of what's going on in here than any of us is going to.
Perhaps I can take a look and see what all these do.
And at the same time, he's going to pull out kind of like a piece of cloth just to kind of like, because he knows that there's glass in there, he's going to clean, like just kind of clear off an area of the, I mean, what I'm going to call it a window.
Yeah, that's fine.
Clean it, look through it, move on to the next one. Clean it, look through it, move on to the next one.
So it is a big, long window.
So he's just going to kind of his eye level, kind of like sweep across with the cloth.
So you're able to roughly clean about like most of your side, but the outside is still covered in dirt, debris, and gunk. So somehow you have to find a way to clean the outside as well in order to really see anything out through it.
Mm-hmm.
Beryl,
Yeah.
does using your guidance burn you of all of your magical capabilities?
Oh, not at all, sweetie. I can guidance forever. It is a cantrip.
I could use some guidance as I try to discern what exactly we're looking at.
Oh, for sure. You're going to be investigating things, so I'm going to go ahead and give you a small rock that's going to be it's labradorite. It's a small black rock. It has glints of blue in it, and I'm going to give that to you, and I'm going to say, you hang on to that. It's going to help. And as I hand it to you, I'm just going to cast guidance on your hand, and that's a third eye chakra, so it should help with your intuition for discerning things.
Thank you. And I will use this opportunity to try and investigate and discern what do these buttons do, what do they control, what exactly is this?
All right, roll an investigation.
We're looking at a nat 20.
Ooh.
Ooh. Plus that D4.
So what is the total?
Give me a second to add numbers.
No problem. Give me a second while I take a bite.
While he's doing
Investigation total is 28.
All right.
And on top of that, Tetsu's gonna be looking for other stuff. Just while she's doing that, just kind of looking to see if there's anything else in the room that can help discern what this room was, or what was going on in it.
All right, go for it.
Nope, it's fine. Yeah, I'm done. I said I was done using your stupid tower.
All right, Senguine, are you gonna do anything, or are you just gonna stand around and let the smart people do stuff?
Bingo, buddy.
I mean, you got your action, so.
Sanguine's recovering.
Okay. Like anyone should.
You know, smoking a pipe.
No, Sanguine wants to go see if there's any cool buttons to press, actually.
There's a lot of cool buttons to press.
Oh no.
Can I roll to figure out the coolest one?
Absolutely.
Can I roll to see if I see Sanguine doing that?
He's not hiding it, so.
What should I roll against?
Investigation. I agree.
Can I just put it out there that if I see him reaching for a red button, I'd like to stop him?
That's a 12.
Luckily, the DC was 8.
Hell yeah.
Because it is a big red button in a glass case. Even with the dust over it, it is that noticeable that there's a big red button, like, next to, so you know how you have different layers, like the 1, 2, 3, like, there's also, like, a desk in the middle of the back wall, and as you go over it, and, you're looking around, and you're like, oh, this one has, like, a small monitor as well, like, kind of look like a computer, and then on the far right of it is a big red button. Unfortunately, the language you don't know, but you can tell that this is, like, an important button because it's isolated by itself, and it has a cover.
Do I not know the language, or do I not know what language it's in? Is it the same thing? Because, like, I maybe could, like, recognize the language but not be able to speak it, or is it like...
Oh, well, since...
I have no idea.
Since Talbot did point out, it's in Vedalken.
Gotcha. Hey, Talbot. Can you come and check this button real quick? It looks real cool to press, but I can't read.
Okay, let me get Talbot her information first, and then we will get to that. Then after I give Talbot her information, that's when your character will say that,
Cool.
and we'll go from there. So Talbot, what you were doing is you were investigating to see kind of what this room is about.
Yeah, and to discern what it is.
Okay. So this again, this will take a little bit. So as everyone's kind of doing their own thing or watching it, everyone doing their thing, you come to the conclusion that seems to be, obviously an observation, area. To what you're not entirely sure, but most of the monitors are to scan for like vitals, power outlets, inputs, how things are going. And kind of basically monitoring the ether heart. Some of the panels have like, ether hearts, vitals, danger zones, and so forth and like that. Power output and all that in case anything goes wrong, connections. So most of these panels that are out there will do something once they're powered up. But you do find, with your natural 20, a fuse box that is relatively close to where Senguine is on that desk on the back. And do you open that little, fuse box door?
There appears to be a fuse box, and I think this is what would give power to this room. Does anyone object to me looking into it?
Do it up.
Go for it.
Sanguine's on board.
Remember, Talbot, they don't know what a fuse box is.
Well, he did say that it was
I
going to
still-
give power. So.
Yeah, I said it could give it power.
I know, the things I tell you, Talbot, is mainly because of your race and where you're from. So some of these things may look familiar or may make sense to you, but the rest of the group, they may not know. Let's just keep that in mind.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm aware.
Dope. Okay,
I'm aware that they don't know.
They don't know what a computer is. God, so primitive. Alright, so you open it, Talbot?
Yes.
Alright, so as you open it, you see 3 little batteries that are clear, that are drained. They no longer have power in them. Usually when this happens, you need to either charge these, which may take several hours or days, or find 3 new batteries.
And can I discern that the thing that Senguine wants to press, it will not work because there is no power?
Do you go over there and look at it?
I will take the batteries with me, the 3 drain batteries, and I will go over to Senguine
Okay.
and look at whatever he's trying to do.
Okay. So as he calls you over and you see the big red button inside of a glass case, and on top of the glass case has some Velkin words and rune symbols mixed into each other. And it says, emergency shutdown only.
That button says emergency shutdown only.
What could it be shutting down?
I don't know. I haven't quite discerned, but I'm guessing that if it had power and I produced the 3 batteries, it would have the capabilities of shutting this down in the event of an emergency.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What are the things you have in your hand?
They're called batteries. They are things that are used to... Oh, wait, I forgot. You're not from Ravnica. How do I explain this? So we use batteries in Ravnica. It's how we store power and energy. It's how we power certain things. These things that you see are all needing power, in which that power comes from these batteries. In order for this to work, this machine, that button to work, these need to be charged, and they're not charged. So either we need to charge these if we really want this to work, or we find 3 new batteries, which in this room, I'm not exactly sure.
What do you charge them with?
Ether.
Ether.
Ether as in like the ether heart from the other room?
Yes.
So it sounds like we got to go to the other room and charge up these batteries.
Yes.
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
Tetsu's going to point at the other door that's in the room and go, we do have one more room still.
I'll have you know I'm a woman.
I know, out of character, that was just a joke. I like your funny words, Magic Man.
Sanguine, your objectives seem a little off kilter to me. You're telling me you want to charge the batteries to turn everything on so you can hit the red button and turn it all off?
Yes.
All right.
Do you see how big that button is?
I do.
I do.
I mean, you can hit it now.
Yeah, but if it doesn't do anything, what's the point, you know?
I suggest we just go to the next room, we get the ether heart, and then we leave.
Tetsu's going to point out the other door in the room and go, we do have one more room still.
I'm kind of concerned that if you told us this room was for what it basically that all the things were like for watching the ether heart, all the panels. Did you tell us that?
I hadn't told you that yet.
Oh, okay, never mind. Then I don't know what's going on there. So.
Yeah. Well, if there is another door, that could lead into the next room. Do you mind if I just take a look to see if it has the shocking grass rune on it?
Just to clarify,
Please do.
You're talking about the door that is in the room that we're currently in.
Yes.
Awesome. Tetsu nods. Yes.
I will go do that. And I go do that.
All right. So you're going to go to the other door inside the room, correct?
Correct. Yes.
All right. As you approach there, it does look like a normal door, but as you get 5 feet from it, a keypad appears on the right-hand side, as though it appeared out of nowhere.
Keypad.
It has letters and numbers like a keypad would.
Am I able to discern what... So I look at everyone and go, it appears that this is still operational. It must be some sort of pressure plate that brings this little keypad. We can either try to break the door and go through, or try and find the passcode.
You had me at break the door, but, you know, whatevs.
Well, it might not hurt to look and see. Do I see any drawers on any of these panels?
Oh yeah, a lot of these, you can say workstations have drawers, panels, but the paper or any like writing or what would have hold notes, long gone disintegrated, dusted over.
Okay.
But you can roll an investigation to see if you might get lucky and find one that may still be roughly intact.
Well, it can't hurt. That was my objective, was to look. So I'll go ahead. Oh no, there goes my pen. Alrighty. Let's see if I get my paper good. Investigation's not my strong suit.
Give yourself guidance.
No, I didn't think of that. Thank you, though. Let's see. I don't have anything, so just a 17.
All right. Alright, what is everyone else doing as Beryl is looking?
I'm going to look at the keypad and see if I can figure out if like any of the obsessively used. So like certain ones are down and other ones are.
Alright, hang on. So now we can hear every time you flip through the pages, Rachel.
Okay, I will start.
It was great before when we couldn't hear it. Just now we can hear it every time. I'm like, oh no, it came back. So you were saying if you can discern the keypad?
No. Tetsu's gonna look and see if any of the keys are like worn down, so that way he can try to narrow down what the passcode could be.
Perception.
Skill. That is going to be a 19.
Okay. So as he's doing that and Barrow's doing that, anyone else want to do anything while this is going on? Okay. I see you shaking your head, Sarah. I just think it's funny because you're hiding behind a pillow. And Talbot, what were you doing again?
So when I said it, I guess people just started to go and investigate. I will attempt to look around and see if I can find anything that would tell me what the passcode could be.
Okay, sorry. Thank you. Did I have you roll an investigation?
You did not, but I will roll one now.
I thank you. That was my fault. That was my fault because I think I jumped the gun on that.
Gosh, Peter.
Well, I rolled a natural 20 last time. This time I rolled a natural 2 for a total of 9.
Hey, that's still not bad. All right. Okay, so as kind of, you're looking, Barrel's looking, and then Talbot is trying to dissect, kind of like, see what numbers warm down a little bit more. Unfortunately...
Tetsu's doing that, and Talbot.
Tetsu, Tetsu, Talbot, Senguine, they all sound the same.
No, they don't. One's a Kenku, and one Kanku-yu.
Hey! Unfortunately, you guys do not find any paper trail or anything that would lead to the exact numbers. And unfortunately, for you, Tetsu, it looks like the numbers haven't been pressed physically.
Tetsu's gonna just look at the door for a moment, look at Senguine and go, "You wanna give it a try?"
Of course I do. Senguine runs at it.
Do you hug it? Do you headbutt it?
Shoulder it down, dude.
All right, go for it.
What you want me to roll here?
Strength?
Athletics.
If you're trying to just bull rush it down, strength check.
Natural 20.
Would a 9 do it?
Go ahead. Since you are a big guy and you're very strong, roll me a percentile to see if you dislocate your shoulder.
That makes sense. 73.
Okay, you don't dislocate your shoulder, but that extremely hurt. But I feel like you're not gonna show it. You're just gonna try to like walk it off like, oh, okay. Well, I'm awake now.
Oh, no, that's a solid door, guys. It's not gonna be busted down. Don't worry about that.
Beryl's just gonna roll her eyes. She's gonna say, "I don't heal stupid accidents."
So I have my own heels. It doesn't matter.
Just putting it out there.
As a single tear goes down his face.
I'm going.
Multiple tears. But he's acting tough, but it's definitely like.
I'm going to attempt to pump my arcane power into it, since that has been a thing.
How so are you gonna pump it?
I'm going to put the door had runes on it, correct?
The door itself does not have any visible runes, just a keypad.
I will attempt to put my hand on the keypad and then pump my arcane power into it.
Like into the keypad itself or into the individual numbers and letters?
I'm starting with the whole keypad first.
Okay. So how much arcane power do you want to divvy into it? Cantrips?
I'll be dipping in cantrips to start.
How long do you want to divvy in cantrip powers?
I will start with 12 seconds on the whole keypad. Let go. If it does nothing individually, 60 seconds on the first button.
You said 60 seconds, right? Not 6?
6. Correct. 60.
Okay. So the first 12 seconds, the keypad does accept it and kind of glows a little brighter so you can visually see now like everything on it. But doesn't do anything past that. When you go to like the first, number 1, which is like A, B, C, stuff like that. You funnel 60 seconds, and when you hit 1, it will, show 1 in your language. And then it'll like, flash to see if you're gonna hit, the other numbers. It'll do that for like 5 seconds, and then it'll just stay solid on like the 1.
I will hit the next one and do the same thing.
Okay. Same thing will happen. So 1 solid, 2 solid. So you have the number 1 and number 2 next to each other.
I'll pump the whole keypad for just 60 seconds.
Okay. Give me a quick second.
Secrets.
While he's doing that, Tetsu's gonna go check out the door on the next room, which would have been the harp one.
Don't forget that one still has the shocking grasp on it.
Yeah, he's just gonna go and look it over.
Alright, the keypad will only go up to 3 figures. So it will stop on 3 and then go.
1, 2, 3, and then it will stop. It will have an error on 4.
Correct.
Can Talbot do a roll to see if they figured out how to get this going?
What do you mean by get this going?
I'm not very good at the puzzling for this tablet, but Talbot may have a better understanding of what to do.
Okay. Okay, yeah, we can go with that. Go ahead and roll me an intelligence check.
I believe it's 20, dirty 20.
Okay, so really good.
Yeah, dirty 20.
You can safely assume that this door will only open to a correct arcane signature. Even if you guess the password correctly, it still won't open unless it registers the correct arcane user, as in their arcane magic, not necessarily the user.
By there, are they meaning those from Is It? Since I'm recognizing the heart, the batteries, the mechanisms that are in this room to be of that style.
You can safely assume so, but this could also be an older model that to where it actually needs a actual caster's magic to actually open it.
And if I pump a first level spell into it, does that count?
You can try, but it may be wasting a spell slot.
Okay.
So right now, I think in your character's mind, it's a gamble. Because either A, it will recognize you as part of the Is It Guild if that is the correct magic, or B, it will deny you because you're not the caster, nor you're not the caster's magic, pretty much. Whoever locked this door.
Well, if I continue to mess with this door, it could be a gamble. I could keep going, but this is very old and very ancient, and it may not recognize me because it may recognize the person that had cast the lock upon this, and it may not recognize me. If it does, great, then it works. But if it doesn't, terrible things could happen, and we may perish. So it could be best just to go to the other door.
Tetsu's already at it.
Is there any way to potentially identify what kind of arcane magic we're talking about?
I can, if you give me 10 minutes and 6 seconds, I can ritually cast Identify. If it is indeed magical, which, it is glowing, so I assume it is. If you give me that time, I will do it.
Alright, well, while you guys think about it, what was Tetsu wanting to do exactly at the door? Since you did leave the room as Talbot was focusing on this door, what do you want to do on the other door?
I'm looking because so last time, correct me if I'm wrong. The rooms, were so like if this is the door handle, it was on like this part of the door handle.
It's all over the door handle.
Okay, but is it on like? So I'm trying to think of the best way to word this. I'm going to call it the shaft. I know this sounds real dirty, but the shaft that doesn't turn, but it's like the part that the ball for the door handle is on.
Yeah.
Is it on that part too?
Oh, kind of like the skin?
Yeah, kind of like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's also on the skin as well. So it's like the ball, the skin, and then the base, all of it has arcane runes on it.
Well, that's shot. I'm going to try to find a way to get rid of this stuff to open the door without causing massive pain again.
Alrighty. Okay. So is Talbot and Iris going to do ritual spells, or have we given up on this door?
I asked, I just haven't gotten a response.
10-4.
Iris is gonna be like, oh, I mean, I also have identify. And seeing as, we just rested, I have plenty of spots left if we want to cast this and maybe move a little bit faster.
Then by all means, please. And then Talbot will move out of the way.
Cool. I will then cast Identify.
Alright, give me a second. No, not Ice Taxi.
Yeah.
I went to go type in Identify, and it autocorrect to Ice Taxi.
I didn't know the penguin took over your phone.
Right, I didn't know either, so I'm just gonna do my little voice thing. Ice Taxi. No, god damn it! That's what we're gonna call Identify now. Ice Taxi. Identify.
Can we get an ice tax?
Okay, so Identify. You choose one object.
I was
that you
gonna
must
read it
touch
to myself.
throughout. Well, fine. Fuck you then.
No, I just need to I appreciate it, but I was just wanting to do it myself so I can, feel wanted.
You gotta be a big boy.
I am gonna be a big boy with my Ice Taxi.
What do you mean?
But thank you for your help. You can have 1 copper.
I'll take it.
Okay. Okay, so it's casting time 1 minute. Touch for spell. Okay. So you're choosing the keypad, correct?
Yes.
Okay. The keypad would be a magical item. You learn its properties and how to use it. Whether it requires atonement to use, which it would require atonement to use due to the signature of the caster it needs. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item or not, which would be pretty much kind of like a lock spell, a very custom lock spell that once entered the right combination with the correct magic, you're able to open it. So physically, it's a normal keypad, which was imbued with magic, which that magic is a lock spell. In order to use it, you need the caster's, whoever owns this keypad's magical signature and the password to use it. Wow, Identify is not a cheap spell to cast.
No.
A pearl worth at least 1,000 gold pieces and an owl's feather. Well, good thing we have spell component pouches. Alright, so would that be satisfied for the Identify spell?
Peter, it's a pearl worth 100 gold pieces.
What did I say?
1,000.
Oh, my bad.
It is not consumed upon use. And luckily, I have a pearl.
You have one big scaly pearl.
I did. I asked if I could buy a pearl that's worth 100 gold pieces, and you said yes.
I know, but I was saying like Sanguine's a pearl.
Oh, yeah, but he's not worth 100 gold.
He's worth so much.
He's a hard... He really is worth much more. You can't put a price on him.
Senguine, you're priceless. That's how much this group loves you.
Note that you get your
I
own.
mean, you are the only one with theme song, yeah.
I do have an entrance song like John Cena.
We love you and we miss you.
And I hate it every time, but we're gonna keep going with it. Alright, does that suffice with your identify spell, or is there anything else you would like to know?
I was kind of seeing like what kind of magic it was. Like, is it bardic? Is it wizard? Is it artificer? Like,
this one would be, I guess, if it's telling you, if it allows to tell you like what the caster's class is, it would be wizard.
Or, you know,
School of Magic.
arcane or divine. Probably divine. You can also learn at School of Magic as well, right?
Yeah, I think School of Magic is what it tells you.
Whatever lock spell. If there's no lock spell, then it's just gonna be a custom spell that's locks stuff. No.
Does anybody know what this room was used yet for? I don't really recognize any of the stuff in here.
it seems real fancy.
I mean, there's obviously something behind this door they want to keep. They locked it, but like I don't know what this room was used for to begin with.
Well, this room was used for looking at the vital signs of the ether heart and to understand how it's doing and monitoring it, things of that nature.
So it's
I see.
an infirmary?
Well, it is an observation. I think it's more like, you know, just observing the ether heart and its behavior. I bet trying to understand what all the ether heart is capable of.
And the ether heart's what keeps everything turned on, yeah?
It is.
Before that the ether heart was kind of like a source of power?
Yes.
Maybe, and this is just a guess, maybe something happened to the ether heart and the power stopped. And whoever was in here watching it had to go check it out. And they never came back. That might explain why everything's dusty and not well taken care of. Perhaps if we go check out the other door and find the ether heart, we might, A, find the person who's supposed to be watching it, or B, find some of their stuff, which might contain some of their magical essence, that might enable us to open this other door, which might also be productive, seeing as how we came here to get the ether heart. Though I am interested to know what's behind this door, because they wouldn't lock it if it wasn't worth something worth having.
My only big thing is if they can't get out, then what's holding the door closed?
Well, I'm assuming that something happened in the ether heart. There must be something in there that's either hurt them or holding them in place.
Either way, I think all signs point to going into the next room.
Yes. Perhaps this time we might be a little more patient and allow you to do your 10-minute casting of Dispel Magic on the doorknob.
Like I've said before, I do not possess the capability of doing Dispel Magic.
Oh, I thought you said you could do it if you took the time to do it.
No, I can't do it. That is not something I have.
Never mind.
So is it the group's decision to move on to the other door?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay.
I
So
think it would be our best bet.
I wanted to give you guys a shot. I mean, unless Talbot says no.
No, I'm moving on.
Okay.
There's not much more I think Talbot can do.
Perfect. So I did want to give you guys a shot before I do what I was gonna do, just to give it to you guys, because since Core and Leander are not here, this room was for them. But unfortunately, we will not be going back to this room if things proceed the way it does, and I would hate for you guys to miss out on this information. And kind of give you a heads up. But if you would like, I'll leave it up to this current group of players right here. I can do this room with Elliot and Yeslie separately. And they can fill you guys in later on it. Or we can do it all together as a group and I just play them. But that will mean you miss out on whatever's in that door, and it could possibly affect the next couple of scenarios.
I would hate to take a good story hit away from anyone, personally. So that would be my stance.
I'm in agreement with my good friend Eli. The prettiest one.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm confused. We skip the locked room, which was meant for Core and Leander.
Correct.
And we move on and we don't get the story plot, or we allow you to do it separately with them and we get it later.
So you can have the story plot and everything, but it would just be kind of different because it was mainly for those two. I just kind of passed it on to two other people. And then you guys get just a alternative version of it. And which might help you with the next couple of scenarios coming up. Or you wait and give it to Elliot and Core. But you won't have pretty much the outcome. You would just go blindly into the next room, unaware of what will happen, and deal with what's going to happen next.
I don't like that.
I don't like that.
I don't like that.
I think we'd probably just be better off taking the alternate storyline. As much as I hate to mess with the storyline, I don't know the next time we're going to have Core and Leander with us, and if I don't want to walk into the next room blind.
Right.
Yeah, I'd rather not walk into a room blindly.
Especially since you told us it would not be to our benefit.
It would just make it difficult. And this is why, again, obviously we know everyone needs to, as best they can, show up. Oh, give me as much heads up as noticed. Unfortunately, Yeslie didn't tell me until I texted her. But I did have this plan, and it was all key in. Because since Yeslie and Elliot was from the beginning, their stories and their things are starting to show up with a little bit of the three new characters coming along as well. So we're in the point of the campaign to where if people don't show up, it will affect the rest of the players who do show up. So if we want to continue, that's fine. It's just two people. I'll let you guys decide who will be able to enjoy this room as the plot sees fit.
Well, Iris and Senguine are the only two of the original party that we have with us. Playing.
Yeah, however, not saying that neither of them are intelligent, but neither of them are really the smartest. I hate to say it. They're not the hardest.
But they're also surrounded by very smart people that can discern and give some sort of revelation.
I don't think we're going to be allowed in the room.
Pretty damn smart.
Whoever isn't the two that got picked, I don't think we're going to be allowed.
Pass choices.
Down for whatever. I am absentee in this vote.
Well, I mean,
Definitely one of them should go.
yeah, at least.
One of the two should definitely go.
Well,
Plus
Iris is a ridge, so maybe Iris take this one. You go with that?
Technically not a ridge, but yeah.
You're
More ridge
The
than
most
Senguine.
original, yes.
Yes,
Most
the
original
most
one.
ridge.
All right, so Iris, and then the only other person that would make sense is Talbot, because Talbot would be familiar with this technology. And
Yeah.
Talbot is also one of our more intelligent characters. So Iris and Talbot.
It's me.
10-4.
Does Iris and Talbot agree?
I guess.
Okay. So this is what this is what will happen. So as everyone kind of like, we'll figure out this door later. As everyone in the room still starts to slowly walk away, Cora and Leander go and look at the keypad. They start to glow with arcane power, and it kind of just seeps from them into this keypad and hits the right combination and unlocks. After that arcane power that kind of is still on the keypad, instead of going back to them, it will go ahead and cloak itself around Iris and Talbot.
I think that's your key in the door, ladies.
I will be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just gonna look over at Talbot and be like, I guess we should walk in.
Here we go. And I will walk gingerly in.
He'll be right on her tail, being like,
You go first, wizard. I'm squishy.
Wait, hold on. Mage armor. And then go.
Okay, now I'm not squishy. Alright.
Less squishy, anyways.
So as you guys open the door, a blinding light will kind of like blind everyone, and Iris and Talbot will appear in the middle of this room. I'll let you guys know what happens after I get done doing this description to Talbot and Iris, and after we get done really role playing. So hang on tight. So for Iris and Talbot, after the light kind of like blinds you and then you guys get your sights back, you see you're in this glorious, very high-tech laboratory-esque mix between a study, an office, and a laboratory, all in this one singular room. As you look around, you kind of see like a desk with papers, books upon books upon books upon notes, experiments going on, and beakers being lit and kind of auto doing themselves. You do see a bed, a shower, a toilet, even a loo. You also see different, on one wall you see very different plaques on it, ranging from test subjects, tubes, obelisk, mask, crystals, monsters, training ground, and so forth. It goes about like 12 to 16 different plaques that you just relatively looking, you feel like you can press in and something might happen. There's also a cupboard on one of the walls too, and it is in the carpet floor. As you kind of like look to it, it opens, and a metal-looking figure with 2 legs and arms steps out in a little butler outfit, with white gloves, and it'll say, "Well, hello. How may I help you?" Oh, sorry. He'll say, he'll come. Sorry, I'm gonna redo that. He'll come out and go, "Well, welcome home, master." And he'll bow, but then he'll look up and goes, "Oh, I have been mistaken."
Oh, it 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 is quite all right.
Who's your master?
Oh, Master Barnabas.
Have they been gone for long?
Oh, for several years now, yes.
Where did they go?
Oh, wherever their heart desired. Last time, what my master told me was he was on a great adventure.
We are in search of the ether heart.
Oh, yes. What about the ether heart?
We need to procure it.
Hmm. Well, you would need fresh batteries. Would you like me to go get them?
Yes, I unfortunately, and I go into my pocket and I pull up the 3 dead batteries. No, unfortunately, these are currently dead.
Ah, he must want to exchange them. And he walks over to you, takes the 3 dead batteries, walks over to a drawer, places them in, closes it, opens up another one, and pulls out 3 fresh ones, closes it, walks over, puts them in hand.
And by putting these in the fuse box, it will turn everything back on, and we'd be allowed to take the ether heart.
You'll be allowed to enter the ether heart's room. It will power up the first room, the observation room. Once you do, you just got to type in the correct code to disarm the locks on the next door, and you're able to freely go into it.
Do you happen to know the passcode?
Unfortunately, I do not. No, but we can figure it out.
What exactly is the ether heart?
Oh, that is a tough question to ask because it's different for everyone. It really depends on what the wielder wants it to be. But I guess in the basic form, it is purified magic. Did I say something incorrect?
No, sorry. This is Sarah thinking and being like, are you really that sneaky of a bastard, Peter? Sorry, tin hat theories.
But to answer your question, yes.
Things are starting to add up, and I'm like, I will.
Yes, we would love assistance figuring out the passcode to the next room.
Well, what do you think the passcode could be?
Well, considering that the door handle itself has a shocking grasp on it, part of me believes perhaps powering the door with arcane power could turn it off, possibly.
That is a theory.
Do you have a theory?
It could be multiple things. It really depends on how you want to go about it. You can passcode it. You can simply take the magic away from it. Or you can just take the damage and let it burn itself out.
We would prefer the passcode method.
Well, maybe it's in one of these books over here. Do you have the time? And he laughs when he says that.
While we're in this room, does time outside of here stop?
Ooh, you catch on quickly. Yes, it does. Well, not technically stops. Time still goes.
At a slower pace?
Technically, yes, and technically, no.
Could you elaborate what you mean by technically yes and technically no?
Well, technically, so time does move normally outside of this room, but inside this room, you can say we're in a different time. The speed of this time doesn't necessarily go as fast as the other time.
So let us say we spend one full day in here. What is that the equivalent of in the other dimension?
Oh, it could be a second. It could be a minute. It really depends on which dimension you're looking into.
Okay. But at a rate, this dimension progresses faster than the one that we were just in, supposedly.
Oh, let me find out. And he goes to the bookshelf, pulls out a book, flip through it. Puts it back. 10 years in this room equals 1 day out of this room.
Out of game, Travis is going, ouch.
Oh, but you don't age in this room. As in, time may move differently in this one, but your bodies don't age according to the time in here as well if you're not from this time.
Interesting. I thank you for your guidance.
Oh. You have this signature on you, so I'm freely to answer all your questions.
At this point, I look to Iris, and then I go, do you have the time?
I really want to examine some of these books, so yeah.
But let's do it. We're looking through these books, baby.
So, should I take you to the library?
Yes, we would greatly appreciate it.
Perfect. He will turn to the plaque that you guys saw. He'll push in the library one, and then the whole room that you're in suddenly turns into a very large library. And there's thousands upon thousands of books.
I'm just saying, May I would have shit himself at that.
Books. Oh my lord.
But for the people outside, what you guys see is a very dusty old, rickety looking room that looks like it was nice at one point, but termites have gotten to some of the shelves. The books look very like if you touch it, it will poof. Beakers and glass look dusted beyond belief. The carpet smells and reeks. It just looks terrible in here. It looks like it hasn't been kept up in ages. But you're more than welcome to step in and look.
Sure, I'm gonna take a look.
Alright.
We don't see our friends though, right?
Correct. You do not see your friends.
I'm gonna look for anything that isn't going to fall apart.
Investigation.
Yep. Like I'm going. That is a natural 20 plus a 4, so 24.
So as you know, looking around, trying to find anything, you open up the rickety closet, and what falls on top of you is this giant, or to you is this big hunky metal thing. You can't really tell at first because the clothes were tangled up in it, and just falls on you, kind of just pinning you to the ground. And for everyone who can see this happening, it looks like in a very old butler suit. It's just like hasn't been kept up at all. It just looks like it's just have holes, dirt, and everything on it.
The butler's suit?
Hey, butler suit.
Kind of holding it. He's gonna look at Senguine and go, "Can you get this thing off of me?"
Hell yeah, man. So I do that.
As you flip it over and kind of like, take off the clothes from it, off of his face and off of it, not his actual clothes, it has what looks like a robotic looking face.
Hey, anybody got any clue what the fuck this is?
Appears to be humanoid in shape, but perhaps it's like some kind of modern metal statue.
No, it is. I don't know if Tetsu would know. He does a lot of traveling, so I'm like, it would make sense that he might know what it is.
That'd be a very slim chance.
But never zero.
Correct.
But never zero.
I will always allow a percentile for the sheer dumb luck that you overheard this information.
Fuck it. Why the fuck not? Where is it? This one.
Out of character perspective, if one day in our world is 10 years in that room, and that guy's been gone for several, I think that for everything out here to be this dusty and crappy, that guy's been gone for more than several years. I think that butler might have been.
So, Peter.
Yo, what up, dog?
On the 10, I got a 10. On the 100,
On the 10.
sorry.
No.
No.
On the 10, you got a 70.
Yes, correct. On the 10, I got a 70. On the
On the
1, I got a 10. Would that make it 80?
So, hold on. So on the D10, you got a 0. And then on the percentile, you got a 70.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is a 0.
So it's just 70.
70.
I'm really going to just sit down with you guys 5 minutes beforehand.
Yeah, sorry, mine's got symbols rather than numbers.
Oh, okay.
Because it's the Cthulhu guys.
Yeah, we're going Egyptian.
Unfortunately, Tetsu does not know what this is.
Okay, great. But other than that, did I find anything off of my 24?
Not yet, no. That was the most impressive thing that you found.
You found an automaton that ain't busted yet.
But we'll go ahead and go back to the people in the room. that's in the nice room, Iris and Talbot. In the silent library, the butler will ask, "What are you exactly looking for?"
We are looking. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I want to look for anything that has to do with your master Barnabas. Potentially things that he was spending a majority of his time on.
He waves his hand. Unfortunately, that aisle is inaccessible at the current moment.
What subjects are available?
Well, name one and we'll find out.
The construction of the room. And how it was made. I take it.
Alright. It is written in code.
Ooh, I would love to decipher some codes.
Oh, you know what it is?
It is written in. That is the extent of which I know. Is there some sort of key to understanding what the code is?
Yes. Here you go.
Thank you. I take it.
All right. You open it.
Yes.
It is written in code. And it will forge. Oh, the butler. The butler will laugh. Ah, ha, ha. Second joke I did. Wave his hand and actually give you the correct book.
I must say, that is quite a clever joke.
Thank you.
I like it. I shall use it.
Thank you. I have been working on it.
I open it.
Okay, so this will take some time. But don't worry, we have literally all the time in the world here.
Yeah, I've got at least 10 years.
Or longer. So what is... so I'll get to Talbot, since we found what Talbot's looking for. Iris, what is there anything else you want to look for in here?
I guess if I can't access any of the stuff that I originally wanted, I'll try and look for more information on the Ether Heart.
Oh.
And the construction of the Ether Heart room and whatnot.
Hands you a book.
Cool, I'll take the book and start reading.
Okay. So the book is actually not in code. It's in a different language you actually haven't seen before.
Yeslie.
We're gonna backtrack and let people go there.
No, we are gonna keep going.
I was about to say, it's way too late for that one.
It is far too late.
Hello.
Hello.
That train left the station.
How does it go again? We miss you.
No, that's a Senguine.
That's just for Senguine.
I just wanted to say we missed you, okay?
Sorry it took so long. I had to drop my grandma off, and then I got stuck at my dad's house, and then once I got home, this one had to get his ears done again.
Oh no, poor baby.
Well, I blame you, Onyx.
He was crying
You a jerk.
because he has an ear infection in both ears.
Poor Onyx, but okay. So which one of you two want me to explain what first?
I should not be the one explaining it.
Do you want me to explain first to you, Travis?
I should not be the one explaining it.
Do you want me to explain first to you, Travis? Do you want me to explain first to you, Travis? Do you want me to explain first to you, Travis? Do you want me to explain first to you, Travis? Do you want me to explain first to you, Travis?
explain it to Yeslie. We woke up in the morning, and we had ourselves a little powwow breakfast, get to know you, kumbaya, all that stuff. No marshmallows, and we went down through the hatch, which is where the people told us where the ether heart is located. We came across 2 doors. In arcane runes, one said observation, the other one said caution, ether heart. The doors had magically trapped shocking grasp. We were able to open the observation room. We all got in. Talbot discerned that the room was used to monitor the ether heart and its power. And Peter, if you can continue from there.
Oh, I was just going off of we were gonna just continue where we last left off on. Who wants me to explain what your books?
Ah, shit.
You're close. You're close.
You're close.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Me then, I guess. Sure.
Okay.
I'm defeated.
It's fine. Alright. So sorry, I was just looking at Rachel and Sarah's screen. The faces you guys are making, and I'm like, okay. Fucking Eli. I got more distracted by you three than anything else going on this video. Okay. So he will explain that the room was built outside of time, but also inside of time, using an ether heart. That once it's constructed and takes a physical form, the ether heart molded to the wielder's desire, which was to make a multiplex single room that can freely change its shape and size depending on what room is needed. And that it has a set timer, that it can go in and out of time, and also at the same time not in and out of time, as in if it exists on one timeline, it can go anywhere in and out of that timeline without affecting the actual timeline. So it becomes like a pocket onto it, or an extension of it. Unfortunately, if it was to go, say, in the past, and someone found the room and opened it, they will see pretty much a dusty old room. But they go to the future. If the people in the present were to find that room, they wouldn't actually find it. They would just find a door that leads to a stone wall. Because that room has not yet been created in that timeline yet.
Okay.
So you can take stuff.
Okay, got it.
Like, go for it.
I said, okay, got it.
Yeah. So,
And you said, so they can take stuff.
they can take stuff from. They can only take stuff from their own timeline, or whoever created the room, or whoever is the owner of the room. So, for example, if you're from, say, the beginning part of the timeline, and you take an apple from your time and then move to the future, it will still be an apple, but it may look different depending on what the apples of that future look like and taste like. So as long as it's the same property, it's fine, but you can't do it the other way around. So if you take an apple
Got it.
from the future and move it to the past, it will just taste like a normal apple from that time. Relatively works the same with items. So say if this room has an item from the future and you try to bring it to the past and like hand it to someone else outside the door, if that present person doesn't have the item, it will just go to the current wielder of said item. If no one has that item in that current time, then it will just blink into a different spot in existence. It can be your spot, or it can be some random hobo's down the street spot where he suddenly now has 10,000 gold pieces out of nowhere.
Got it.
Just be some timey-wimey bullshit there, Peter.
It is. It truly is.
It's a TARDIS.
It's a TARDIS without being a TARDIS.
Yes, because the TARDIS is copyright.
It is. You can say it's a madman's box.
Got it.
That's not copyrighted. Any other questions about the said room?
No, not about this room.
Okay, so now that information took time to learn. So it wasn't just all at once. You decoded it yourself and took the actual time it took to actually read the whole book. Since time really doesn't affect you guys, we're not going to too much worry about it. So, Iris, what was your book again?
Book about
Say that one more time.
a book of ether.
I'm going to assume you said a book of ether hearts.
Yes.
Okay.
Book about the ether art.
Okay. I guess the easiest way to put this was an ether heart as it is pretty much purified magic, as in it is pulled from the ether of magic and made into what is known as an ether heart. Ether hearts can vary in different sizes and shapes, but usually tends to just be a heart shape or a bottle, a sphere, any of those simple shapes, because they're easily moldable. With an ether heart, it's how magic was created. It's how your spell lists were designed. With ether hearts, you can create new spells. It really depends on what you desire and if you can handle it. But also, ether hearts are very dangerous, because if you don't know how to really use one, explosions are very common.
Peter's going for the TPK here.
Oh, if I really
Beryl doesn't
wanted
know
that,
this yet, but Beryl doesn't know this yet, but Rachel is very not much wanting to give this to the dwarf anymore.
Oh yeah, no. Iris is like, fuck no, we're not giving this.
We were talking about taking the hammer and just leaving them with the battery, and now I'm like,
Is there anything else specifically you want to know about the ether hearts?
People, get out of here.
What potentially, if like something went wrong with an ether heart, what is a potential possibility of what could happen? I know you said explosions is one, but is there any other possible outcomes that could happen?
Yeah, there's thousands possibilities. Alter reality, cease existence, polymorphing almost anything, causing different outcomes, variations. copies. The list will go on and on. Since it's pretty much, again, purified magic, we don't know what the magic can cause until it happens. That's why
so
they.
Essentially, we're dealing with wild magic.
If wild magic
In its
had,
purest form.
yeah, in its purest form, in a sense, yes.
Interesting. Is there any kind of specialty background required in order to be able to properly work with an ether heart?
The Vedalkins were the first ones to tamper or discover ether, and they are the ones who have first mastered it over decades and decades. They no longer use ether hearts because of how so purified it was, and they've never mastered the ether heart. It's just they took the concept of it and then grinded it down over time, to which you guys now know as your spell list.
All right, but thinking more modern, less ancient history, like in our world, in our timeline, what kind of potential background, schooling, maybe would be able to more effectively?
Really, anyone with an arcane background can mold it, I think, be the best way. It's just how does one with arcane background get there? That is still a mystery. Has not yet been discovered.
Who was the last person in history who was able to mold the ether heart?
Ooh. It just labels as a man named J.
Man named what?
J. The letter J.
Is there any kind of text about him that could potentially learn more? Or is it just that he was the last person to ever mold an ether heart?
It just says that he is the last person to mold an ether heart. After that, no record of him has yet to be found or recorded in this database.
Peter knows where I'm going, and I'm just like, okay, so is there any more information I can get on the room that contains the ether heart that we have yet to go into?
What information you want to know about it?
Booby traps, anything like tools that'll be helpful or useful, any spells or anything that will help us prep, essentially, for what's going to be in there.
Are there maybe just boobies?
He will wave his hand again and a book will appear and he will just go over like a safety protocol If the ether heart is non-active, the room itself is safe. But once the ether heart becomes active and reaches 100%, it fills the room with pure ether, which in layman's term will cause random effects, just like wild magic. If you don't have the correct suit for it, you will be affected by it. But if you do have the correct suit, you won't be affected by it. But the suit will only last roughly about 10 minutes. It's mainly used for simple fixes.
Okay. Is there any place we can find these like jackets special? You go away. You're playing fucking Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I don't know what you want from me.
Yeah, he waves his hand and pulls out a suit.
How many of those suits you got?
How many you need?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh yeah, we can go to the fitting room and get them for you.
Perfect. Let's do that.
Okay. Ma'am, are you ready to go to the fitting room as well?
I don't know at what point we had our information had sort of like we had sort of concluded. But I was going to, depending on what happened, I was going to continue to try and find information about a password.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's not a problem. We'll say at this point the information collides. For the outside group, nothing has really happened yet. So you guys don't necessarily need to worry about it. Unless Core wants to roleplay with you guys. If not, we'll just continue on with Iris and Talbot.
I'm fine with whatever.
Alright. So then we'll continue on with Iris and Talbot. So Talbot, you wanting to look for more of a password?
Yes.
Okay. In the same book or different book?
Starting with the book I already have. If not, go to a different book.
Alright, roll me a percentile.
Okay.
Alright. Still haven't found any passcode or anything like that. We'll wait for Rachel. Thank you.
You're welcome. How's the new car?
What's that?
How's the new car?
We'll discuss that in a little bit. So what do you want to do, Talbot? Do you want to keep looking?
I'm going to keep looking.
Okay. He will say that unfortunately, I can't split you guys up. So if young Vedelkin would like to continue looking, unfortunately we are stuck in this room.
Then I will go ahead and accompany Iris to the fitting room.
So be it. He will hit the next plaque, and the room will turn into a fitting room, with all different types of clothes, outfits, and shindigs alike. The butler will look at you like, do you have the measurements of all 7 suits? Or are there different? Or do you just want one generic size fits all?
Of course, Peter takes the women characters shopping.
Sorry that we just have better fashion sense. Well,
We're all different.
Well-
Obviously, we can get the measurements for Talbot and I. But we kind of have a few very different body shapes.
What are you trying to say?
You're a fucking bird.
Are you calling me fat?
Leave room in the crotch for Senguine.
Make it tight. Uncomfortably tight.
Make that shit tight. I need my muscles to be able to jiggle.
So I would assume a one size fits all.
It would once.
You did cut out there.
I said, would one size fit all fit a dwarf?
Possibly. Is the dwarf able to...
I mean, I'll just be kind of swamped then.
Is it...
okay.
And would it fit someone that's almost 6 foot something?
I mean, I'm 6'6", so
If they're able to cast arcane spells, they're able to shrink or expand the suits to their body size.
Perfect. Okay, we can deal with that.
okay.
Perfect.
Also, Peter, question: illusion, would that help?
Say that one more time.
The spell minor illusion cantrip
Okay.
to create a minor illusion of each of the characters, just to get general measurements. Could that suffice?
If you were trying to get everyone to have general measurements, sure. But if you just want to take the one size fits all, you won't need to.
Or you can be cool and get them all custom.
Iris, preference?
I mean, a lot of us are casters, so as long as like people focus arcane magic into them and they go to the size, I don't really see a need to like use our own magic abilities.
Okay. I'm not exactly sure if it will it work if the person who wears the suit is not an arcane caster?
If you have our arcane caster to kind of be a battery for it, it'll work. But if not, then no.
Okay. So as long as an arcane caster is funneling their magic into it, it can shrink. Can you shut up?
That would be 3 arcane casters to charge 7, essentially 7 suits.
It will take time, but it's doable.
Sure.
I'm like, we got 2 clerics, a bard,
Bards are arcane casters.
yep, paladin. No, there's a
2 clerics, a paladin, a fighter, and then you have a rogue with arcane capabilities.
Yep.
You as a bard, and me as a wizard.
okay. So
I think what he's getting at is the clerics aren't necessarily arcane casters, are we?
fair.
No, you're divine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's getting at is we don't count as casters in this sense.
Can you?
So I don't think Sanguine would be arcane. Sanguine, are you arcane caster? No, divine.
Divine.
It's not that big of a deal, guys. We got 3 arcane captures. We just get the suits. One size fits all.
Question, what does it take to power the suits?
Arcane magic.
If it was at a cantrip level, would that suffice?
It would take 1 hour to charge.
And once it is charged, it lasts for 10 minutes?
Correct. These are meant for quick fixes, not long extended time. If you want to make it long extended time, it will start to drain your spell slots from highest to lowest. And then the concentration checks will be more difficult once you drop down to cantrips.
Okay, I guess generic it is.
Bless you.
Ooh, bless.
Thank you.
Okay, but that's almost what? 3.5, 4 hours of charging?
Can we charge 2 suits at the same time?
I mean, as long as it's 2 people, 2 different people, I'm assuming yes.
I'm sorry, Talbot was asking the servant, the butler.
As long as you have corresponding arcane power, yes.
We'll just do custom. I'm able to recreate the measurements using minor illusion. This way we don't have to worry about it.
So be it. You'll produce
Iris, is that okay, Iris?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will continue to be using minor illusion to create the illusions of the people one at a time. If they're taller than 5 feet, I will go waist down, then do waist up.
Hey.
Because it has a limit of 5 feet.
All right. He will produce 7 as best he can suits.
Great.
Anything else?
Yeah, a spell. Dispel magic.
Yes.
Do we have that spell in the library?
We have plenty of them.
Is that something that I may copy?
I don't see why not.
I would like to copy Dispel Magic.
Are you able to cast it?
You know what? Great question. I have no idea. I'll check.
Okay.
Yeslie, don't do that.
My dude, I've been up since 4.
I feel it, but don't do that.
I don't know if Eli is intensely paying attention or he's pissed off at something.
Concentrate.
Oh, calm A, little calm B. No, I'm not pissed off. I'm just chilling, dude. Vibing.
You had a
Vibing
little
on the side
serious
there.
face going on, and I was like, you good, bro?
I'm texting a girl. Dude.
Oh.
I am.
He says as we're streaming.
Peter, I am able to cast it. It is a 3rd level spell, and I can cast 3rd level spells.
Oh, perfect.
And it is available for the wizards.
Awesome. When would you like it?
As soon as possible.
Oh, sorry. Let me correct it. When would you like it in your time?
What?
I'd like for it to be. Okay, I'm sorry, Peter. It's a difficult concept that we're working with.
Yeah.
As in, what point in the timeline did I want to have Dispel Magic in my spell book?
Correct.
I would like to have gotten it the same time that I did a research on Counterspell, which is what I already have. So this would have been a couple of months or 4 months before I met the group.
So you want it in the past?
Oh, wait. It doesn't work like that. It has to go in the future. In the morning.
Okay. We can do that.
Sorry, I forgot.
No, that's okay. You're good. This room and scenario is complicated. That's why we're taking it easy and walking through it.
Wait, does that mean that when they go back, are we in the past from them, or are they in the future of us?
From what I understand, it's like an entirely different time-space continuum shit. Is that correct,
I
Peter?
just don't want them to, like, bamf back to us and all those, like, jackets be like, nope, because you went to the past.
No, it would be in the future. Like when we show back up, it would be.
What? What? It's almost like this is a pocket dimension that Talbot and I are in. Cough, cough.
You got the COVID?
No one is picking up on what I am, and I'm real mad about it because I'm just like, I just want to nerd out, and I just want to know if this tin hat theory is real or not.
If I can understand every word you're saying without you cutting out, I would gladly help.
It's what I messaged you earlier. I'm basically just like trying to drop hints to everyone else, and I'm like, come on, guys, pick up.
Well, I haven't. I've only been looking and not answering to anyone.
Oh no, this is the one you answered.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep to my answer then.
Is this a tin hat theory that I could conceivably guess because it's outside of the game, or is this a tin hat theory that pertains to something that you guys played earlier that I wouldn't have no idea about?
We will answer that a different time because we need to continue on with the story. So we'll go back to Talbot and Iris.
Okay.
Is there any way? I mean, I sent it to you on message. I found, because I physically can't cast it at the moment, because I am not this level. What are the classes of the casters on Uguay's ship?
Are you asking the butler or are you asking me?
You.
From what you know, it would be Typhon, a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
You have a chef. But she really didn't tell you what he was. Well, what Uguay was. Uguay didn't really tell you what he was. The Panda brothers aren't on the ship right now. Unfortunately, you don't know what Vera's son is. What I don't think you guys know of his caster, or if he's a caster or not. So you don't know.
Oh. Okay. I think I know where you're going.
Because I found a spell called Modify Memory, which would essentially allow for Typhon to get his memories back. But it's 5th level, and it's specific to bards and wizards.
Well,
Why I can't cast it now.
well, modify memory, you would have to be creating a memory and instilling that in them. What would allow them to get their memory back would be a greater restoration. Because modify memory is running under the premise that you are taking a memory in the past X amount of time and modifying it.
Modify memory can only be like last 10 minutes.
It's still a 5th level fucking spell.
Yeah, no, like, yeah.
Still bard, cleric, but cleric and druid are the other ones.
I have that.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you have greater restoration?
I believe so. Give me a second.
Well, they have lesser restoration when they
Yeah, you have
when they
lesser restoration.
when they can cast the 5th level spell, they could use greater restoration as a spell.
Yeah, my bad. It was lesser restoration.
You're good.
Alright, so I got a lot of dead time here, guys. What are we working on here?
Yeah, if you need to go, Rachel, you can go.
No, I'm just like, we're just sitting here. I'm not quite sure what we're working on anymore.
I'm still waiting for the 2.
Well,
I was
Sorry.
if she's done, I'm gonna do research on the Tiamat, the rise of Tiamat, and what kind of ritual is needed in order for his ascension.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Ooh, can I learn more about the masks then?
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
So
okay, let's do that.
we'll go for Travis first, and then Iris. So for the rise of Tiamat is needed. I'm not gonna give the exact number, but a several fuckloads of gold. Several sacrifices of divine casters. A ritual. And 1 deep hole. Be the easiest way to kind of just sum up how to rise Tiamat.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay, you want me to go into anything more detail?
Not that I can think of. But that's where my research will be going into further, since I have the things I need, and I need to wait for 10 years before I can have to spell magic.
Okay, so the butler will look to Iris and like, would you like to see them?
Yes.
He hits the mask, and you get into this little like dragon's room with all of the mask lining the walls.
All of them.
Hmm.
Are these illusions?
Yeah. Do they exist anywhere else, or do they fully exist here and here alone?
Well, these are real of the Tiamat masks. Those are the bad ones, and those are the Bahamut ones. So the good ones. But these are real.
Who collected these?
Barnabas did.
And there's still nothing you can tell me about Barnabas.
Not that I'm allowed to, no, unfortunately. He restricted my access.
Is there some sort of significance with these masks?
The evil ones they help raise Tiamat. The good ones over here help stop Tiamat.
Do you by chance know if these exist on any other plane of existence?
Any other timeline?
Possibly. If we go to different universes or different timelines, these probably do exist the same. Now, whether these are the ones that are relevant to your timeline, I cannot say.
Is there any kind of way to, I don't know, say locate these in an efficient way?
I would assume locate object would do it.
Is there a way we can track this in the different timelines to see where it pops up in history?
As long as it be recorded, you would just have to find the Library of Seven and ask them.
The Library of Seven?
Correct.
What is that?
Oh, your typical secret organization that collects knowledge.
And where is that located?
It's a secret. Ha, get it?
It was worth a shot.
That's another joke.
Is there any way to get their attention?
Have something rare and unique, possibly. But unfortunately, unfortunately as well, vast as my knowledge is, I barely know of the Seven. Oh, I guess we should call it the Library of the Seven.
Yeah, I was like, uh-oh, bad superheroes, huh?
Do you potentially have anything worth value that might get their attention?
But probably have plenty of things in here that might get their attention. But if you're trying to get the attention, doesn't mean they're going to take the bait.
True. Unless maybe you have something of theirs in here that is of worth value to them, then they definitely will take the bait because they're going to want it back.
Possibly. And he smiles.
What do you have of theirs?
I technically do not have it. I just know of its location.
Where is it?
It's wandering.
wandering.
Yeah.
Is it a creature?
I'll let the mystery lay waste as that and have you guys figure out later.
Okay. I have nothing else.
That was my last thing. I got nothing.
Is there any other room I should take you to?
What were the other rooms?
Laboratory.
There was a lot.
Go for it, Travis.
There's a lot of rooms.
Take us anywhere that there might be any kind of like runic writing.
Runic writing?
Yes.
To the laboratory. And you guys end up in a laboratory. This one has several testing pods. Old pods just kind of lining the walls and everything. One wall is full of different arcanic runes. Also filled with books. And anything that revolves around arcane testing.
Are any of these runes, do they look handwritten?
Yes.
Do I potentially recognize the handwriting or any of these runes?
Yes.
Who do I recognize them as being?
Well, you recognize one in particular, and it's the favorite teleportation rune.
Interesting. And it's the same handiwork.
Mm-hmm.
Same craftsmanship, same almost like arcane signature on it.
You won't be able to know the arcane signature just yet, but same writing pattern.
I'm gonna ask the little butler if he potentially knows who wrote this.
Absolutely.
Cool, can you tell me?
Sir Barnabas.
You're either, Peter, you are either playing with me and enjoying the shit out of it, or you're being serious and I am losing my mind.
I'm gonna go with both because it's highly entertaining right now.
So you know, it's almost 11.
What?
So you know it's almost 11 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well...
So then I would ask, would those of us here, would we want to call it, or do we want to continue a little longer for those who can?
I should probably call it, because I gotta edit my podcast
No problem.
tonight. So
I'm good.
I kind of agree. I've got to be at work in the morning, so.
Not a problem.
Yeah, I would say let's call it, pick it up next week. Because there's still a lot more we got to unravel.
Dun dun dun. Leaving on a cliffhanger.
Timey-wimey bullshit.
Eugene.
Yes. That's what I think too.
On that note, for those of you who are watching the YouTube, thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to keep these lovely people entertained and to motivate them to always do the best and yada yada yada, all that fun stuff. Anything to add from Eli's podcast, or Travis wants to do the ends and spill?
If you are an Oregon fan, University of Oregon, my co-host and I are actually going to be hosting the Alumni Association's pregame show, in which we actually get to interview a Oregon football legend. So I'm pretty excited about that. And you also don't have to be an alumni to join up. There's links on our Just Two Fans page, Facebook page.
And I'll make sure to get that from Eli so I can post it in the description, so you guys can go ahead and follow that. Does anyone else have any announcements they want to make before we call it?
Make sure to like and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. If you know someone named Eugene, help. Help. Seriously, we need help. Help us for the love of God. We need all the help. I want you to cry to the heavens. Shout for Eugene as we need help. Help us.
And on that note, we will bid those who are watching adieu, and until next week.